Being part of a transformation journey is not always easy. People, even experts, struggle when trying to set it up properly because of the differences such a journey might carry out with it. I will walk you through some fundamentals and use one of the most known consulting frameworks, hoping to provide you with some wisdom you can take away in your next challenge, regardless on whether you are part of a project, a program, or if you are to work at an enterprise level. But first, let me share with you a little bit about me. I have a degree in system engineering with a major in software development and automation of operations, with a topping on strategic management, which I observed when going through an executive MBA some years ago. Out of my almost 31 years of professional experience, I have been managing projects for the past 19 years, out of which I have dedicated 8 to deep diving into agile practices. I first started using, of course, PMI and Prince 2 classical PM approaches until I got the opportunity to take responsibilities as an agile practitioner after getting certified as a Scrum Master and Product Owner. Having had the chance to compare the plan-driven with the product-driven approaches, I just couldn't avoid getting my mindset changed forever into a more flexible, agile way of thinking. Now, sit back and enjoy this journey. This is a self-running and a self-pacing short course, which intention is to serve as an appetizer. It will help you to gain a clear picture of the power this framework might provide you when driving a transformation journey. If I manage to awake your curiosity, then you will for sure start to further research and deep dive into this world of fascinating possibilities, which at the end will make of you a much stronger consultant, subject matter expert, project or program manager, or will reinforce your business endeavor no matter the industry area you are part of. First, I will share some insights around the McKinsey 7S framework. Then, I will walk you through some fundamentals of digital and then later agile transformation concepts. While doing that, you will find out that I have underlined some words to emphasize areas where the 7S framework could be applied or be useful. After going through some theory and even deep diving a bit into how this framework could influence important transformation journeys, I will share with you insights of some case studies to ultimately reaffirm what you have learned so far. At the very end of this course, in the takeaway section, I have put together some thoughts to reaffirm the importance of the awareness you just gained. So, let's get started. At front are those who have the courage to transform what they do to overcome the challenges the near future might carry out along the way. Difficult doesn't mean impossible, because never before has there been that much potential to increase success, regardless how complex the journey might appear to be. No matter if an organization visions a digital or an agile transformation, if it wants to migrate systems and IT platforms from on-premises to cloud services, or whether it's looking to increase efficiency, improving its time to market by applying artificial intelligence and unattended operations through automation. The key to success is how to incur that journey by choosing the approach that best supports reliable change and sustainability. Do you know how your organization is placed to achieve its goals, or what elements impact its ability to implement change successfully? Well, here is where the McKinsey 7S framework can come in handy for a transformation journey. The framework offers a sound approach to combining all the essential factors that sustain strong organizations: strategy, structure, systems, skills, staff, and style. united by shared values. This framework is a tool that analyzes an organization's design by looking at 7 key internal elements in order to identify if they are effectively aligned and allow an organization to achieve its objectives. The model was created with the goal to show how these 7 elements of a company are interconnected and that a change in any one area requires to drive a change in all other areas for it to function effectively. The framework forces us to concentrate on interactions and fit, the real energy required to redirect an institution, a project, or a program comes when all the variables in the model are aligned. The 7S framework has been subdivided into hard and soft elements. The framework seeks to present an emphasis on human resources, the soft S's, rather the traditional mass production tangibles of capital, infrastructure, and equipment as a key to improve organization performance. Moreover, it can also be used in complex projects or programs of almost any kind to increase its success factor in a more cost-effective way. From a management perspective, these hard elements are easier to identify and influence. Although harder to manage, these soft elements are the foundation of the organization and more likely to create a sustained competitive advantage. Let's deep dive into the soft elements of the framework: skills, staff, and style. Skills is about the actual capabilities and competences of the employees in the organization. To increase competitive advantage, it is paramount to effectively identify the right skill set, different groups of individuals required to enable transformation. On the other hand, staff is about the number of people and the right people in place on the organization. Procedures on how they will be recruited, trained, motivated, and rewarded. Style refers to the management and leadership approach in the organization. Whether the company is more likely to go for a command and control type of management, top-down or bottom-up decentralized type of organization, or if managers trust and delegate to business units to operate independently. A combination of these soft elements is what we call as well organizational culture. The shared values guide employees' behavior and how the organization should react in different circumstances. They represent the overall culture the organization is trying to accomplish and what kind of work environment it is striving for. Shared values conform the vision that unites, challenges, and give direction to all people working in the organization. They are not financial goals, but the motivational drivers that make the former achievable. Now let's get to know a little bit more about the hard elements of this framework: strategy, structure, and systems. Strategy is the plan developed by a firm to achieve sustained competitive advantage in the marketplace. Successful strategies are clearly articulated with a long-term statement, strong influenced by organizational values. Structure is the way the business is organized. It's known as well as organizational design. Neither roles and responsibilities, reporting hierarchies, require business processes, and the vision of the organization, among others. Systems involve the procedures, processes, and routines used for undertaking important work. It refers to how information moves around the organization and its network partners. They are the necessary technologies enabling all other 6S's. Compared with the soft elements, these hard elements are definitely easier to establish. Now that we have a better understanding of the 7S framework hard elements, and soft elements, let's talk about transformation. The world is complex, and with no doubt, the way we work is changing. Many organizations find it difficult to change. Employees feel lost and not an active part of the change. Transformation is a term that everyone has a basic idea of, and that is used in a wide range of contexts, sometimes even synonymously. Digital transformation, agile transformation, and many more. But what is transformation really? Experts and I agree that transformation means change in a given context. I will walk you through two of the most common transformation journeys to make it clear for all of us how the 7S framework can add value when used as part of the transformation approach. As we walk through the digital and agile transformation journeys, we will see underlined words to highlight the 7S framework presence within each particular approach. By understanding and deep diving into these transformation concepts, we will gain clarity on how the 7S framework can come in handy when pursuing a successful transformation. I will touch base of important fundamentals to provide you with a strong flavor in each case, but please, do not be mistaken. The content will not be a detailed treat on any of these transformation concepts. Digital transformation means a lot of different things to different people, depending on the type of industry it's being applied on. It's very much about on how we change the way work gets done, the experience for our clients, whether we can deliver work in a more innovative and efficient way to get better business outcomes. A digital transformation journey needs, therefore, to provide a real lasting change in the organization. An eloquent statement to start defining digital transformation is that it encompasses the strategies for efficiently implementing emerging technologies. These strategies must assure alignment with the organizational culture, allowing to improve time to market and to enjoy sustainable business outcomes. This journey requires unlocking people's capabilities, upskilling them where they are required the most, while improving and simplifying all involved business and operation processes along the way. Digital transformation demands identifying the staff that might act as accelerators and catalysts to the rest of the organization areas that gradually are going to be transformed. We need to bear in mind that there is a digital transformation coming at us nowadays in the form of an evolution of technologies, social media channels, mobile devices, data analytics, the cloud, and the Internet of Things, just to name a few. By themselves, none of these create issues. However, the confluence of these technologies has changed the way we think about doing business and what makes up this digital transformation. Companies who simply adapt their technology to the way they do business are definitely missing the boat. Leading-edge organizations are instead adapting their businesses to the capabilities these technologies provide. Since the 80s, process industries have embraced digital technology to better understand and manage resources, improve safety, and increase efficiencies. As a consequence, concepts such as digitation, digitalization, and digital transformation are becoming increasingly common in boardroom conversations, but their exact meaning sometimes gets lost as leaders work to find the best solutions to their business problems. Now, the good news is we don't have to understand every new technology and what it makes possible as it arrives on the scene. What we can do is simply recognize that technology has gone from an enabler to a source of inspiration for any organization's business strategy. We need to understand, though, that there are two ways of thinking about this digital transformation journey. The first is that it leads to digitization. This is about operational excellence, about end-to-end delivery, doing things for our customers in ways that simply work regardless of channel. And though we can anticipate and address their needs as they arrive, we do better, which we have always done. We deliver traditional products and services, but at a level that was not possible before. We call that digitizing. And the reason this is important is because digital technologies are raising the bar. Organizations really must be digitized. Simply put, digitization means digitizing information. It is the process of transforming any kind of information, analog signals, or any other form like text, photographs, voice, etc., into a digital format so that it can be reached to people anywhere in the world. Information visually recognized or recorded on paper is coded with zeros and ones and electronically saved as digital information so that computers can process it easily. Digitization facilitates data processing. It's about the importance of sensing or collecting data. In other words, digitization is the fundamental process of making analog information available in a digital format. Let me share some examples. Creating digital work orders to replace paper-based work or scanning a letter are simple pictures of digitization since it creates a digital copy of that letter. Converting manual readings to electronic ones is a more common example in manufacturing. Delivering asset data integrity through digitization in plant operation and equipment maintenance, for example, by automating the data acquisition process that had been performed manually. Now, all I have talked about the past couple of minutes is only half the story. The other half, actually, is becoming digital. This is about rapid business innovation. It involves delivering brand new customer value propositions. These are the solutions that, for instance, Uber has made so visible. What problems can we solve for our customers that we never considered part of our mandate before? Move beyond our traditional product and services and solve our customer problems. That is the challenge of digital. Some takeaway highlights are, among others, increased stakeholders, partners, end users, and fellow colleague satisfaction, automated and streamlined processes, improved just-in-time delivery, efficient communication and operations flow, excellent product quality, lowered production costs and non-valuable time, faster response times, higher valuable information chunks, enhanced competitive advantage, and so on. It would not be wrong to say that technology has changed the way of living. Not only it made our lives easy, but also helped in growing our business on a very large scale. Now, on the other hand, today's necessity, embrace Agile. For the private sector, waiting for antitrust action is not a solution. Continuing the management practices and structures of the lumbering industrial giants of the 20th century won't cut the mustard. To survive, let alone thrive, firms today must learn to embrace the new business reality. They are entering the age of Agile. An unstoppable revolution is now underway in our society, affecting almost everyone. Agile organizations are connecting everyone and everything everywhere all the time. They are capable of delivering instant, intimate, frictionless value on a large scale. They are creating a world in which people, insights, and money interact quickly, easily, and cheaply. For some firms, this revolution is uplifting and beautiful. For others, it is dark and threatening. Agile transformation is the sustained organization-wide process of helping individuals and companies undergo the necessary mindset shift to reap the full benefits of agility. But now, why is this transformation necessary? Agile is not merely a process. Doing the steps doesn't guarantee you the results. With Agile, you aren't baking actually the cake. You are starting a movement. Getting many people to work together effectively requires a code of ethics, even if informal, to understand what is possible and what is acceptable. So, even though this is not a workshop for learning about Agile practices, let me give you some flavor of it by illustrating and overflying some concepts using the 5 layers once defined by an important consulting firms some years ago. And they are about leadership, organization, product and business strategy, delivery, and execution. Let's start by talking about leadership. Traditional industrial age management styles are not effective at maximizing performance in a modern digital organization of knowledge people. Markets pressure to move and change fast require a different mindset, one that engages employees and challenges them to exploit innovation for competitive advantage. Agile leadership facilitates the emergence of organizational constructs that enable enterprises to adapt in the face of ambiguity and constant change. The Agile leader also exhibits leadership styles that create a culture of transparency, decentralization, engagement, collaboration, and accountability. Business agility refers to an organization's ability to sense and respond to change in ways that allow it to thrive and innovate. Understood this way, organization-wide agility is constituted by a set of capabilities. These capabilities are embedded within the organizational structures, policies, and practices, as well as within the cultural beliefs and individual mental models through which an organization functions. This includes employee reviews and incentives, onboarding, finances and accounting, and everything that enables the enterprise to operate as a healthy living organization. From product and business perspective, how clear is the product strategy to the people that are implementing it? What is the connection between the strategy and the daily software development or IT implementation work? Crucial for this connection is the product owner role and product management skill sets, and the way that the enterprise specifies and prioritizes work for the Agile team. Agile began as a way to speed up software product delivery, and as a result, this is the area that is unfortunately considered the full extent of what is possible with Agile. As seen in our pattern, however, the delivery layer is only one segment that benefits from Agile transformation. Focusing on the practices and processes of teams and group of teams delivering a project, program, or product, Delivery encompasses how well individual teams and sets of teams are using Agile frameworks like Scrum and Kanban, how Lean principles are being applied to value streams, and how successful are we applying scaling patterns and frameworks like SAFe. The purpose of Agile is to deliver high-quality value to the customer quickly. At the foundation of this product creation pyramid are the technical execution practices and principles that enable development teams to produce these products. This includes the technical practices used in constructing, verifying, validating, and deploying software-based products, which are known in Agile as extreme programming and more recently, DevOps. Executing within a disciplined Agile framework across the whole value stream can help improve project management discipline, value delivery, and predictability. It helps organizations to identify gaps in their capabilities and to highlight impediments that prevent them from improving performance. After going through some theory and even deep diving a bit into how this framework could influence important transformation journeys, let's hear about some case studies to ultimately reaffirm what you have learned so far. From a cell phone pioneer to being acquired by Microsoft in 2013, Nokia is a case study of organizational failure. So let's analyze where the company went wrong by applying the McKinsey 7S model. Please bear in mind that this model is a business framework which can be used to analyze organizational effectiveness and ultimately organizational change. To show how you can use this framework for the benefit of any organization, I will share an analysis made on February 21 of this mobile pioneer at the time of its demise, namely between 2011 and 2013. I will not go through all the S's of the model, but rather concentrate on the structure, style, and strategy outcomes when applying the framework. Nokia had a top-down line structure organization. In public speeches given by the organization's top executive, agility and being nimble were mentioned as key competitive advantages. But apparently, it was all just a talk. It seems that the organization's top management was living in a bubble, disconnected from the company's technology development departments. Communication was one way, and teams were not empowered to contribute to the organization's strategy. To adapt to the new technological environment and compete with Apple, Nokia should have taken steps to change its structure from top-down hierarchical to decentralized and agile. Instead of organizing employees in silos with no communication and collaboration between them, the company should have placed its employees in teams, with every team working to achieve a common goal. Team members should have been empowered to speak up, come up with solutions, and work independently. As we already understand, style refers to culture. What was Nokia's culture at that time? As per the 2015 paper, Distributed Attention and Shared Emotions in the Innovation Process, that talks about how Nokia lost the smartphone battle, Nokia suffered from organizational fear, status, we are the number one, in-house politics, and temporal myopia. Top managers had business backgrounds and lacked technological competence. Employee morale was low. As the saying goes, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Top management should have adopted a transformational leadership style, where the leader's goal is to transform the organization to allow for constant improvement. Transformational leaders create a vision of the future that they share with their teams so that everyone can work together towards that one shared goal and vision. You know that technology is ever changing. So, technology companies should embrace change in order to stand the test of time. Transformational leadership would have been the best fit for Nokia because it fosters creativity and innovation through collaboration. This type of culture builds and maintains employee motivation and satisfaction and is effective in facilitating organizational change. Struggling to compete with Apple and adapt to the technological developments that were disrupting the business environment at that time, Nokia top management had to choose among three strategies: optimizing costs and volume, maximizing performance, or maximizing security. They decided to go with cost optimization, which made it impossible to achieve performance in software. With Apple going for technological innovation and excellency, needless to say, they made the wrong decision. At its peak, Nokia manufactured 40% of the world's mobiles. The company had the human resources required to keep innovating and increasing its market share. Unfortunately, the company's leadership lacked core competences and vision necessary to drive change within the company. They didn't allow the tech talent in the company to contribute with valuable insights to important decisions. The company chose the wrong strategy, which ultimately led to its demise. To read more around this case study, you can use the link shown in here. Have fun! Let's continue with this next one. Coca-Cola has always adjusted its strategy according to the McKinsey 7S framework results. Concepts, values, and skills are created in the corporate culture of the company. The strategic management of Coca-Cola has followed an effective mechanism using this framework. That's why Coca-Cola is still identified as one of the best brands in the world. Once again, I will not go through all the S's, but rather concentrate on the shared vision, strategy, and staff outcomes when applying the framework. Keeping in mind that shared values are part of the organization's vision and that they are the motivational drivers, Coca-Cola's shared vision from 2010 system revenues by 2020 focused on developing the new beverage products, meeting evolving consumer tastes by aligning the strategy with their 6P dream: profit, people, portfolio, partners, planet, and productivity. The corporate strategy of Coca-Cola is the result of great efforts and well-thought approaches put together to keep their product shining and to reinforce the corporate well-earned prestige of the mark. Coca-Cola further divided their strategy into 5 types. I would like to concentrate on the functional strategy part of it, which best showcase their corporate strength. Starting with the marketing strategy, well supported by the overarching brand strength, each product line across the 7 categories of Coca-Cola. Second, the talent management strategy. Coca-Cola might not have engaged its employees sufficiently and thereby reducing the labor turnover rate. It becomes clear that the company will need to tighten its retention and development policies. Then what about the production strategy? Capitalize on cost synergies by vertically integrating bottling facilities. Supply chain management well supported by the latest SAP ERP software on a global scale. And finally, the distribution strategy, which will allow for strong distribution relationships and improved proximity strategy to put a Coke brand within reach, though use of vending machines and ensuring good distribution coverage through various means. With a staff-centric approach, Coca-Cola benchmarked business strategies of recruitment and retention, facilitating work pathways. Systems for performance improvement are best controlled. The company discovered that given the silo existence of some employees' roles, activities should be implemented in order to promote creativity and to include employees. Coca-Cola understood very soon that financial incentives through stock ownership encourage workers to support the company. Have a look what John Murphy, Coca-Cola's Chief Financial Officer back in December 2017, said about their corporate strategy for driving global growth. Have a look to it by clicking on the link. What can we take away of how best applying the 7S framework when driving a transformation journey? In today's competitive digital era, it is becoming necessary for every organization to undergo a business transformation to continue to compete effectively. Before initiating any transformation journey, organizations must know the difference between agile or digital transformation. Once aware of it, then they can choose the type of transformation that can operate their business and unlock new opportunities to deliver new efficiencies. Agile transformation is typically based on confirmation that successful digital transformation occurs through continuous innovation by thoroughly changing business models. An agile transformation is an act of transforming an entire organization into an elegant and thrive in a collaborative, flexible, self-organizing and fast-changing environment based on agile principles. Agile transformation allows organizations to be reactive and better serve their clients' interests with less effort, which requires significant support and resources to stick it out when things get bumpy. Digital transformation, on the other hand, is an act of introducing digital solutions to allow organizations to add efficiencies via automation rather than merely supporting traditional digital methods. It is a foundational change in the organization that delivers value to its clients. From paper to spreadsheets and typewriters to computers, we have the chance to reimagine how we engage our clients, how we do business with digital technology on our side. By making use of the 7S framework, organizations can understand the differences between these transformation concepts to be able to make the right move. Thanks a lot for your attention and for deciding to carefully listen to this self-running workshop about this well-known McKinsey framework and its applicability when driving a transformation journey. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you would like to share your valuable feedback with me. That will help me for sure out to improve my presentation skills. I am looking forward to soon again being able to share some wisdom with you.